So you're trying to get your SUAS license, but aren't sure where to start. What tests do I have to do? What should I study? Where do I take the test? Who do I need to contact? I'm April McCutcheon, and as someone who is right where you are in this simple yet sometimes confusing process, I am here to help you get your drone piloting license. To start, what is a SUAS license and why should you have one? SUAS stands for Small Unmanned Aircraft System. This license is also sometimes called a Small UAS and a Part 107 license. All variations of these names mean the same thing. I personally call it a Part 107. Now, you can legally own and fly a drone without a license if you're flying strictly for fun, and you register your drone with the FAA if it weighs 250 grams or more. But the moment you accept anything in exchange for flying your drone, so like money, gifts, favors, gift card, case of soda, anything you can think of, then it becomes a commercial use. And for commercial use, you need what's officially called a Part 107 Remote Pilot Certificate. For recreational drone pilots, you need a trust certificate, a document saying that you know the basics of flying safely. Once you have a Part 107, the trust certificate doesn't necessarily apply, and you don't need a trust certificate to get a Part 107, but it is my recommendation that you do get one, just so you have a foundation of where to start when you are studying for a Part 107. Plus, it's a free course and certificate, so why not take it? Here are the FAA requirements for first-time pilots. So if you never had a pilot's license before, a drone pilot's license specifically, then this is what requirements you need to meet. You must be at least 60 years old. You must be able to read, speak, write, and understand English. You must be in a physical and mental condition that allows you to safely fly your drone. Very important. Very, very important. I think of it just like driving a car. It's like you want to be in the right mindset and the right physical condition in order to do it. Same thing applies for drones. And you must pass the Unmanned Aircraft General Small exam. So this is the exam that we're talking about today. Once you earn your certificate, it must be easily accessible whenever you fly. And you need to complete online recurrent training every 24 months to stay current. So if that all fits you, let's walk through the actual process. Step 1. Your first step is getting an FAA tracking number, or an FTN. This is your permanent ID with the FAA. To get it, you'll create an account on the IACRA website, the FAA certification portal. Once you register, you'll be assigned your FTN automatically. Write it down somewhere safe. You'll use it later. Step 2. Now you get to do the fun part of scheduling your exam. Now this is the part that was tricky for me because I decided to register when the website was trying to do maintenance. So hopefully you don't have the same experience as me, but based on what others have said to me that have also gotten their Part 107, it's a bit of a pain no matter what. So just be patient with the website. You'll schedule your appointment with an FAA-approved knowledge testing center. These are often found at flight schools or small airports, or I took mine at a university testing center that was approved by the FAA. Make sure you bring a government-issued photo ID on test day. Very, very important. Otherwise, you'll have to reschedule. Step 3. Now for what to study so you pass this exam. Here is an overview and I'll go into more detail at the end. This is the Unmanned Aircraft General Small exam. It is 60 questions, multiple choice, and you get 2 hours to complete it. You'll need a 70% or better to pass. The test covers several topic areas including regulations and operating limitations, airspace classification and flight restrictions, weather, emergency procedures, radio communication basics, decision-making and judgment, and airport operations. It sounds like a lot, but with studying it is manageable. The good news is that testing facilities will give you a paper copy of your exam as soon as you're finished, so you know your grade immediately. and so you can enter your test code into your application portal. Step 4. Once you've passed your test, you get to finish your application. Now you will need to hop back onto the IACRA website for this part. Log back in and start the FAA Form 8710-13. This is the application for your remote pilot certificate. You'll log in, click Start New Application, choose Pilot as the application type, select Remote Pilot, follow the various prompts that will appear on the screen, enter your 17-digit Knowledge Test Exam ID that will be on the paper copy that you got from the testing facility, and then you'll electronically sign and submit. And then that's it for this part. Then it's just a waiting game. Once your application is submitted, the FAA will run a routine TSA background check. When that's done, you'll receive an email letting you know you've passed and that you can print your temporary certificate. Step 6. Your permanent remote pilot certificate will come in the mail after all internal processing is complete. Now you get to go out and fly drones commercially. Woohoo! Whenever you're flying your drone for commercial work, the FAA requires that your certificate be easily accessible. I personally keep mine in either my wallet or my camera bag. Don't forget that every 24 months, you'll need to complete a quick online recurrent training to keep your knowledge fresh and to stay legal. But this is a lot easier than the initial test, so don't let your license lapse. Otherwise, you'll have to go through this process all over again. So that's all the steps to getting a license. It sounds simple, and it is actually very simple. But the act of taking the test and studying the right things could be a challenge. So here's some of my tips and things that I did to help me pass. Tip number 1, take a class. I did my Part 107 while taking a class at my university for drone flying and content creation. I've had previous experience with drones and flying them, but that was years ago. So when I took this class, I also signed up to get my license. Taking a class at university or otherwise is a great way to get hands-on experience with the drone and the ability to talk to others who are also getting their license and who already have it. Collaborating and learning together helps the information stick in your head. Tip number 2, study the supplement charts ahead of time. During your test, you will be asked to reference charts in the Airman Knowledge Testing Supplement. Looking at the book before you take the exam will give you a heads up on the possibilities the exam can ask you. This bleeds into my next point. Tip number 3, organize yourself. In my test, and as outlined by the FAA, every test taker is given 2 pencils, 2 markers, a clear sheet, 2 pieces of scratch paper, a ruler or otherwise straight edge, and 2 erasers. And in the case of my exam, they also allow me to keep my ID and a key for a locker to keep my stuff in outside of the room. During your test, you're not allowed to have anything with you except what the test center provides. Use this to your advantage. In the testing supplement, there are graphs and charts about piloting an aircraft that you won't use. So I spent the first 5-10-ish minutes of my exam sticking the erasers, pencils, my ID, and all the other stuff into important tables and pages that I had found ahead of time. This saved me a lot of time because instead of flipping through the whole book, I could just flip to the pages I needed or know where to avoid when I'm looking for an aeronautical chart the test was asking for. Speaking of not having your stuff with you, tip number 4, don't bring anything unnecessary to your exam. Now, my testing center did have tiny lockers to put my stuff in, but it's a good thing I didn't bring a full purse or backpack with me because these lockers were comically tiny. In the exam room, you are not allowed to have any personal items with you, and the worker there will scan you like you're at the TSA in an airport to check that you have nothing with you. In my case, I had to remove my hair tie and watch off my wrists, even though they are not smartwatches or anything. I also had a claw clip in my hair that day, so I had to take that out for the employee to check it and scan my hair for nothing inside my hair. I found out afterwards that anyone with any type of jewelry or hats or anything that is not your basic t-shirt, pants, shoes, basic clothing items had to take them off and leave them outside the exam room. And if you're sitting there thinking it's a little bit excessive, you're not alone. Which leads me to my last point. Tip number 5, be kind to your examiners. During my process, I did not know about taking off all of these things that I don't even think twice about, like my watch or my hair tie, let alone feeling like I was at the airport being scanned. But my examiner also had some of the same feelings that I did about how excessive it was. They also told me how many people would fight them on it when it's not their policy. The examiner is just there trying to do their job. So just listen to them, and your experience will be much smoother, and everyone will be a lot happier too. Well, I think that's it. I will caveat that my experience may not be your experience, or my tips will guarantee that you will pass, but they can help. I will leave links in the description that I found helpful and to the FAA website so you can register to take your test. I hope this helps, and see you in the next video.